As we discussed in the last Cypher Basics video about task rolls, there are numerous ways to modify the difficulty level you're rolling against. I can't cover every single possible instance, since like many things in Cypher, a large portion may be situational adjustments the group may make as you play because it makes sense for the scene, but I will go over the basics. There's no set skill list in the Cypher system. Many abilities that give you training and skills often describe situations or give broad categories, one of the complexities of being a universal system. However, it does give you a list of example skills you could customize from the different genres, and in many of the more specific settings, like the Old Gods of Appalachia for example, there's a base default skill list to follow, although you can still make your own on top of that. Training can also be in weapon groups, defenses, armor, and individual abilities, although training and armor doesn't actually modify your rolls, so we'll talk about that another time. There are only 4 levels of training in the Cypher system. Inability. You're bad at this, and you should feel bad. All task rolls with this are hindered by 1. Practiced. This is the assumed default for any task in the game. Technically, you're practiced at everything that isn't listed with another training level. There's no modifier to a practiced roll. Trained. You're better at this than the average person. Your task rolls with this are eased by 1. Specialized. You are amazing at this. Your task rolls are eased by 2 levels. Assets. Whenever something is giving you a helping hand or a little boost for some reason, assets are one of the more common ways for your task rolls to get a little easier. Whether it's a friend helping you out to open that door, a rainstorm happening while you're trying to put out a fire, and so much more. Total assets can never ease a task roll by more than 2 levels of difficulty, so the GM doesn't have to worry about players sitting there and stacking a billion different assets to auto-succeed on the hardest of challenges. One specific note about assets: when a character helps another character with a task, in general they provide 1 asset if practiced, 2 assets if trained or specialized. Situational modifiers. Hard cover, elevation, light levels, microgravity, fog, wearing a brightly colored Hawaiian shirt. I can't describe or list them all here, but I can at least put a link to the SRD down in the description below. The GM and the players can also define situational modifiers as you play. Applying effort. I feel like effort should be its own video, but seeing as one of the main ways that players can modify their task on a case-by-case basis is applying effort, I guess I should at least give a brief rundown here. When undertaking a task, you can apply a number of levels of effort up to a maximum of your effort score. Each level of effort you apply can do a number of different things, but for this video we're going to focus on applying effort to ease the task. Each level of effort you apply eases the task by 1. This is not an asset, so it does stack with any other benefits from assets and situational modifiers. Just be careful with effort. It does usually have a cost associated with it, which we'll get into in a effort video in the future. This is not an official category, and I didn't really know what to call it, but there wasn't a reason to put each of these things into their own. Basically, certain equipment, ciphers, artifacts, and abilities may modify specific task rolls. There's not a lot to say here, as all of those things state in their descriptions how they modify the roll, so you just need to refer to each one individually. And that's it. Those are the main ways you can modify your tasks in the Cypher system. If you like what I do, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe button below. Maybe check out my Ko-fi link to drop a few bucks for this Canuck for some brewskis. Have a good day.